Hello people, another beautiful night. Yeah, hope your five senses work, health and strength is good. Look, we talking about the Steam Deck here. Got this article here from PC and Games. It's talking about Windows, and this article also has a video in it, so I'm gonna leave a link in the description box with the video. But when it comes to the Steam Deck and Linux and then running Windows on it, of course performance is going to differ between the two. Windows might need a lot more RAM to run. Linux doesn't. Linux may not. So it's a difference between performance when you're using two operating systems. So just remember that when it comes to the Steam Deck. So I just seen a video with IGN. The video was pretty biased, and you can tell that most people that review this, most of the people, the person that was reviewing the video, that person was like a Sony / Nintendo fan. So you have to take these Steam Deck reviews with a grain of salt, because you might be in computers for a long time using Windows and Linux, and the little hiccups that the Steam Deck goes through, it doesn't bother you because you're used to that stuff when you were fixing PCs or building PCs back on the 286, 386, 486, Pentium 1, Pentium 2, Pentium 3. So when it comes to these reviews with these especially with the Steam Deck and like the ANEO, you have to have an open mind, and sometimes you got to do the reviews yourself, just to see if you're going to enjoy it, versus watching a video and then let someone else review discourage you from getting it. So when it comes to the Steam Deck, if you're used to PCs and fixing things, then that comes with the Steam Deck, so it shouldn't be nothing new. But anyway, it says here Windows isn't quite as good as Steam OS on the Steam Deck. It says Microsoft fans rejoice. You can now install Windows 10 on the newly released Steam Deck, yet you might want to think twice before making the switch. See, they always try to slide the Nintendo Switch to take a shot at the Steam Deck, but whatever. As using the operating system in place of Steam OS could lead to a drop in performance when playing some Steam games. According to the test by Linus Tech Tips, games like Hitman 3 takes a big hit when running on a Steam Deck equipped with Windows, with frame rates dropping from 34 FPS on Steam OS to just 19. Doom Eternal performance also leaves much to be desired, as it seemingly runs at an average at 45 FPS rather than 60 FPS. Surprisingly, Elden Ring isn't a complete disaster. There's only a difference of 7 FPS compared to Linux. So that means on Linux it runs better. But anyway, because remember I did the video that Elden Rings performs better on Steam OS. Anyway, it says here, game performance aside, Windows 10 optimization on Steam Deck is questionable, as basic UI meaning user interface, elements like brightness slider and battery status are currently janky. The handheld gaming PC also seems to struggle with the operating system sleep mode, as Linus Tech Tips says that the device either takes forever or never wakes up. It says here, it's worth noting that Windows 11 isn't compatible with Steam Deck yet, thanks to Microsoft firmware TPM restriction. Dual boot also isn't an option, which might make temporarily tinkering with Windows 10 more hassle than it's worth. And then it says here, of course, some Steam Deck pre-orders are now expected to arrive in third quarter 2022, so perhaps optimization can improve before gamers get hold of the handheld. And that's the end of the article. I'm going to leave a link in the description box. And, you know, when it comes to, you know, I had seen an article, I think it was about a week ago. I seen an article, I think it was Tech Radar who had the article, when they were asking the question about are solid state drives, or is solid state drive any good as SATA hard drives? And I was about to read the article, so I was going to tie that in with this. So when it comes to dual boot, you should be able to do a dual boot on hard drives. You should be able to, because if you can do it on a SCSI or an IDE or a SATA, then you should be able to do it on a solid state. But according to this article, it looks like you can't, because what a dual boot is, you're creating two partitions on a hard drive. You're trying to install two operating systems on the same hard drive. So one partition is for Linux, the other partition is for Windows. So when you boot, say a desktop up, laptop, or the Steam Deck, then the screen will ask you, okay, which operating system do you want to use, Linux or Windows? And then you pick one and then go on from there. So that's what a dual boot is. So it's kind of shocking that, you know, you can't do a dual boot on a solid state drive. So what I might have to do is probably look at that article again, you know, from our Tech Radar. But you should be able to do a dual boot. But according to this article by PC Games In, you know, it says here, where is it? Where's the article here? It says here, dual boot also isn't an option. So that's something the hard drive manufacturers need to work out. So you should be able to dual boot on a hard drive, whether it's IDE, SATA, probably SCSI. You should be able to do it on a solid state drive, because what you're doing is you're putting two operating systems on the same hard drive, and then go on from there. You know, then when you load up your desktop, laptop, or whatever, you know, or the Steam Deck, then the screen will ask you, okay, which operating system you want to use. Then you say Linux or Windows, and then go on from there. So that's what a dual boot is. But other than that, man, the Steam Deck, you know, it got some little issues they got to work out. But if you've been around computers for a while and been fixing PCs, you know PCs give you problems. So the Steam Deck is no exception. If you understand this, then it won't bother you. Now, for the average new user, it might be a problem for them, but I think they'll probably get over it. Especially if they've been using Linux for a while. If they understand Linux, or they understand Windows, they probably get used to it. You know, it's just the way the tech world is. No device is super perfect. No device in the tech world is super perfect. You're gonna have issues. It's just the way the tech world works. And the problem is, good thing that Valve released I mean, you're getting your Steam Decks in the third quarter of 2022, so that's plenty of time for Valve to get some things improved on the Steam Deck. But for a handheld device, yeah, it's worth it. It is definitely worth it, you know, because when you can run, of course you're having it's a Windows versus Linux, and then you have the different, you know, like GOG and Epic, and then there's Microsoft, you know. So they're just competitors. So the games that can work on a Steam Deck will work. The others, they might need driver updates. So go on from there. But other than that, what I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna leave a link in the description box with this with the article, and hope you enjoy the video. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still a Star Wars and Star Trek fan.